Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, outsiders of all ages, it is time once again for the Outsiders. It's brought to you by Poncho. We always tell you to go to ponchooutdoors.com. We can show you some new hoodies. They got some of those there ready to go. Going fishing outside. Need those nice thin layers. Those are incredible. We haven't shown you this guy in a while. That's just Colt in a poncho shirt. Here's a guy we have not shown you. Actually, we may have shown you once. Right as he showed up, but you want something to look for on the website, go look for this dude on the website. That's right. Willie from Duck Dynasty. You go click on that picture. It takes you right to all the best-selling shirts. So ponchooutdoors.com. Make sure you mention the Outsiders or Orange Bloods Live. Fellas, I played golf in a poncho shirt for the first time today. Didn't help the golf much, but Jason Parr was available a couple times.
Good.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. No birdies. Birdies did not seem to be available today at all. But heat was also available, so I did sweat off like 10 pounds. So that was good. Chance is rocking a poncho tonight, I think.
God, yes, I'm rocking a poncho. Let me tell you. Well, I'm not going to show y'all. But if you were to see, I'm in the great city of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And that's what I was trying to see if I could show y'all in the background there. But unfortunately, you can kind of see there's the casino, the La Berge, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, look at you. All right.
The Mississippi River is right back here. I was trying to show y'all, but here, my point being, I'm from Houston, where it's hot, and the mosquitoes are like the size of pigeons. But here, when you walk outside, I say you wear the weather, because that's what it is so hot. It is so freaking sticky here that all I can wear is the ultralight. And the poncho ultralight has been a lifesaver down here. Like that whole line of this one's an ultralight, the Navy. I got the ultralight, and it's called the Ahi. It has been freaking lifesaver.
Yeah, and today it was like 96, 97 and humid as hell when I was playing golf, and the shirt was the best news about my golf game today. It was nice, and it was as light as it could be, and out in that weather. So it's very cool. I got the T-shirt on. I wear the poncho T-shirts all the time. It's fantastic stuff. So check out ponchooutdoors.com. Of course, that's Chance Mock, the quarterback, Mock 5. We got Jason Dick, our lower extremities tonight, the quarterback in our T formation tonight. No Bo Edge again. Now, for years, Bo's wife and the Outsiders have been telling him it's better when he doesn't talk. But now a doctor is telling him it's better if he doesn't talk. So he's resting. So Bo, get better soon. Hopefully we are able to hear from you next week. But Bo is, he's recovering. He's recovering, trying to be a good boy, trying to be a good patient. So hopefully he'll be on with us next week.
Who knew all these years? All we needed was a medical intervention to shut Bo up.
That's right? The only right. Modern medicine is the only thing that could shut Bo up. By the way, Chance mentioned he is in a casino frame of mind later for the Mach 5 Top 5. Chance has made some bets. Chance has placed some bets, and he's going to let you know what they are coming up a little later. But we want to thank Jason Dick, not for a dick move of the week. This is certainly not a dick move. We want to thank Jason for the inspiration for this week's show. And it's basically, how much would you have to pay for the Texas Longhorn football team and other big football teams for that matter? Jason, it's kind of a cool little article that you ran across, and we're going to throw a graphic up here in a second. But did someone send you this one, or did you stumble into the New York Times article yourself?
Well, I'm doing the New York Times crossword every morning, Chad. I'm keeping up with the news of the day. No, I just scrolled across it on Twitter, and it is a perfect I think I originated this term, summer sports doldrums, which we're in, okay? July-ish is where you get it, where it's like not quite football season yet, and you obviously don't care about baseball yet. Basketball is over. Now we're done with all the golf majors, and so there's just, what are you going to talk about? And so, that is the time where you got to come up with some sort of wacky nonsense, kind of gimmick or angle. And the New York Times, they ran a piece on college football program valuations. Like if you were able to buy a college football program, like you could buy, an NFL franchise or the Los Angeles Lakers, whatever, how much would it cost? And you will not be surprised to know that the Longhorns were number one. I got 10 on it. If anybody wants to get in with me,
yeah,
I'll put in $10 for sure.
I thought you meant 10 million of it.
Oh, no.
I mean, you were the face of Austin radio, Jason.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
I did all right. But if I had 10 million disposable dollars, I would not be here right now, gentlemen. Okay.
Right. And you might not also try to buy a football team, but hey, you might. I don't know. So yeah, when we flash this up, basically it's about 19 teams are on this list. I split it up and blew it up a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. So you're going to see the top 10 on the left, and you're going to see the bottom 9 on the right, even though the bottom 9 are worth something too, but they're not worth what that top 10 is worth. So the New York Times, there's a part of this that's kind of a guess. There's a part of it that they're putting a little formula together, but there is a part of this that's concrete that I really want you to focus on if you're a Texas fan, because oh my God, is your football program riding high when it comes to revenue generation. We'll be flashing this up a couple times, but just look at this graphic. There's 2 things here. The second one, projected price, again, is a little bit nebulous. But look at football revenue for Texas. Now, I dug into the article a little bit, read into it. This is an average. In a way, this makes it crazier for you Texas fans. This is a 3-year average for all the teams. So this is not just last year. It's a 3-year average. Fellas, $183 million is the average for Texas, and look at the next closest team in the category. That's crazy.
Well, I think, Chad, and for me, the crazy thing is if you look in the right column over there to your Fighting Texas Aggies, and right above them, the Oregon Ducks. The fact that those 2 schools average less than $100 million a year with as much, I mean, I was blown away at the valuation of A&M, number 1, but number 2, because you get the stadium in it, right? Like when you buy a franchise, part of that is the stadium, like the whole thing, right? I'm blown away that A&M and Oregon have only they're under 100 million. I mean, is that not mind blowing to y'all?
Well, under $1 billion, under 1,000 million. Chance. I would say Oregon kind of feels like where they belong. Maybe I would have guessed, that Texas A&M would have been higher just because they have so much money. But I mean, I guess
I'm saying
go
revenue.
Ahead.
I'm saying revenue. Their revenue is less than $100 million. Oregon's revenue is half of what Texas half.
Yeah, now that's crazy. So, Chance, a couple things I would bring up as people look at Oregon and Texas A&M. Remember, Oregon's football, the stadium is a lot smaller. Like, I think Outson is 60, 65, something like that. So that probably has a little bit to do with it. But I agree with you. I felt like it was going to be more. And I immediately went to that A&M number and thought multiple things. I'm like, wait a second. There are estimates from a few years ago where Texas and Texas A&M are number 1 and number 2 in revenue. Like, what am I missing? That's total athletic department revenue from a couple years ago. That was that. So to keep, and just last year, A&M's report, I believe, is at 118 million in terms of football revenue. But one thing I wondered, fellas, is does A&M's football revenue somehow get affected by the Jimbo payouts? Like,
Jesus Christ.
But that wouldn't be revenue, would it? That's what they've got to pay out. That would affect their net.
Yeah.
But that doesn't affect, right? Yeah, that affects but that doesn't ultimately affect. So, Chance, I'm with you. I was surprised when we know that A&M and Texas are so close. When you talk about total department revenue, there's been years where A&M was a little ahead of Texas, and then there are years, most of the years, Texas is a little bit ahead of A&M. But those two are right up there. It surprised me too that the Aggie football average over 3 years less than 100. The Texas average is at 180.
Look, man, that's an ugly color. Okay, Doc Hastings only needs one maroon poncho shirt. Okay, there's like 8 different awesome Texas ponchos that you can go out and get, man.
I see. It's a variety of gear.
Yes, yes,
variety
exactly.
of merch.
Exactly. All right.
It's an incredible list. And the other thing that this made me think of, when you sent it to me, Jason, there's something going on over the last couple days that I started thinking about. We'll take another look at that here in just a second. We do also want to thank some of our great partners on The Outsiders, including the good folks at Covert Ford. Do you need a vehicle? Kimberly has an idea.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Covert, and since 1909, the Covert family has been committed to Austin's community. For 116 years, we've grown with Texas, driving progress, building trust, and serving the Austin community. Whether it's the all-new 2025 F-150 or the versatile 2025 Ford Maverick, we're here to help you find the perfect fit, just like we've done for generations. At Covert Ford, it's more than cars. It's about family, service, and a legacy of trust. Visit covertford.com and become part of our story.
I love that they filmed that commercial and found no traffic. That was awesome. That's well done. Found these great landmark spots and there wasn't traffic at that moment. That was well done.
I do love that, but we have to say with the Open Championship, our boy Scottie, which by the way, freaking, hammer down. The dude he's nails. Dude. I can't watch Sergio. He looks like an IndyCar driver out there. Like I turn it on and I'm like, at one day, I'm like, was he working at Wiener Schnitzel and just came over to play golf? He's wearing like this red shirt with yellow trim and red pants. And I'm like,
yeah. And also, did I hear right? He flipped out and broke a driver.
Yeah, hole number 2 on Sunday. He broke his driver after a bad shot. Had to play the rest of his day, the rest of his round without a driver. Maybe helped him. I don't know, but
it probably was good for him.
Yeah. For the people that don't know, the rules state they let you have 14 clubs, and if on the first hole you take 3 of those clubs and throw it in a lake, you don't get to replace the 3 clubs. You snap them over your leg. You got to go the rest of the time without it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They don't let somebody deliver a new driver to you or something. That's not how that works.
Man,
that was crazy.
Hey, but hat tip to that whole crew. Northern Ireland, I guess they've had 2 Open Championships in the last like 80 years or something. But the course looked phenomenal. Yeah. Those views over the cliffs there, like badass. And the weather was awesome.
Yeah, loved watching it. I wanted Rory to put at least a run on Scottie just to make it interesting. But in the end, it's so much fun to watch Scottie work, and it's historic stuff, man. Congrats to him.
I think at some point, Rory, he was very honest in his answer, and I thought it was great because Rory played well. I mean, he did. He had a very good week. And, in his post-round interview, they asked him, and he basically said it was an honest answer. He said, when you're playing against a guy that's number 1 on the week in putting, number 1 on the week in the irons, he's hard. He's hard to beat. Like, what do you do at that point when he's on? He's the man. Like,
yeah. Think about it, fellas. If Scottie's not in the tournament, just take him out. The finish would have been kind of like the U.S. Open where everybody was together. Like there would have been this massive group, Jason, right around minus, I guess it would have been minus 10, 9, 10, 11, wherever it was. That would have been wild with Rory fighting to win it in Northern Ireland and all these other dudes playing good golf. And Scottie's ends up 4 strokes ahead of everybody? Like, it's just crazy.
I thought Jordan Spieth, if you saw his comments after the round on Sunday, where he said that Scottie is just built different. He's just a different guy than all of these other people out here because, exactly what you're saying, Chad. There's so many people on that leaderboard. I mean, Harris English and Chris Gotterup, who I just learned who is. Like, all of these guys played well enough to win the Open Championship, and they weren't even goddamn close because they're playing with a guy who's just playing a different sport, who's playing on a different planet than they are.
Yeah, well, and
go ahead, Chad.
Well, I was just going to say the staggering stuff to me. He's now won his first 4 majors by 3 shots or more. No one has ever done that but him. Nobody. Seve Ballesteros did it 3 to start, but not 4. 4 major. Tiger didn't do it. Jack didn't do it. Hogan didn't do it. So we've seen him win 4, and nobody's close to him. And he's also won 9 in a row when he leads after 3 rounds. 9 tournaments in a row. If he leads on Sunday, you're cooked. It's over 9 times in a row. That's amazing.
So I think we talked last week about, that the interview he did, which I thought was fascinating. I love like probably my favorite sports documentary ever is The Last Dance, because I love being able to see in the minds of like the truly great people, like how they think, how they operate, like seeing Michael Jordan under a microscope and how he practiced, how his mind works. And Scottie to open up to the press how he did, it makes sense why he's so good at recovering. If you notice when he hits a bad shot, like it's like, okay, well, just on to the next. Because I almost feel like that freedom that he has of like, this is just what I do, and I want to be great at it. I think it almost clears his mind to like when he has a bad shot, he recovers so freaking well.
He made double bogey on 8 on Sunday, and you're like, oh, is this where he's going to unravel and maybe the tournament?
Bunker, when he went in the bunker, and
and he couldn't get out of the bunker. One of us. But he makes double.
I've been there, Scotty.
He makes double bogey on 8, and then he just birdies 9. Okay, because he's like a robot. And it's on my podcast this week. I asked, is he underrated because he's so white bread? Because he's so boring? Like, the most exciting thing about him, honestly, is that he can't keep his feet on the ground on his tee shots. But that is, I think, his greatest asset is that, he's just so laser focused on every single shot that you can't really shake him. All right. Yeah. And I don't see Mrs. Scheffler ever chasing him down the driveway holding a golf club or anything that's going to derail him into all-time greatness. And so, I think we are in store for, some all-time stuff from Scottie Scheffler.
Yeah. Jason, to cross sports, I'm a huge tennis guy. He's got a Federer feel to me in a couple key ways, because he's boring, but everything looks smooth and silky and easy, and he never looks like he's sweating, literally.
Right.
Like, we said that about Federer for 20 damn years. I'm like, he's playing the final at Wimbledon. I don't think he's sweating right now. Scottie does not appear to perspire while he's doing this. And and it feels like if you measured his pulse at any given moment of a golf tournament, it'd be at like 58. It's remarkable. Like, he is so singular right now, and a blast to watch. So shout out to Scottie Scheffler. He was so much fun, like at Texas, coming out of Texas, became one of those guys I always had to watch, and now he's this freaking dude. Like,
I think there's a lot to be said too about the fact that, I mean, I owned a pair of Air Jordan, so I get it. I love them, whatever. Brady was everywhere. You couldn't turn on a Gillette commercial without seeing Tom Brady, everywhere. Yeah. Scottie's so different because he just plays golf, and he's like, all right, I'm going to go be with my family. Like, leave me alone. Like, his perspective is so great.
Yeah, there's not like, it's not transcendent like Tiger was. And honestly, I don't know that. I mean, that's kind of to me what Federer was. Maybe Federer did bring some people to tennis, but it's just there's such an artistry to it. And Jason, to Chance's point, the thing about the press conference, I don't think we ever need to forget that in one of the most mentally crazy sports that the planet has ever thought up, he did a self-help session at the beginning of the British Open and then stormed and won it. As I heard him do it, I thought, ooh, is this what you need to be doing, Scottie? Do you really want to say all this out loud? It'd be like if a pitcher wanted to sit down with you in the first inning and go, I might not give up any hits today. Right. And I just thought, man, I want to see how Scottie plays now, because did he just put himself in a weird mental? Nope, he didn't at all.
If anything, he revealed to the world that he's like, the game doesn't fulfill me. Okay. It doesn't, it feels like it's not worth it sometimes. I guess that I'm putting words in his mouth now, but you would look at that and be like, oh, this is a guy who's not ready to play this week. And then he just goes out and dominates the tournament where nobody had a chance to win on Sunday.
It is so crazy. All right. As long as we're talking golf here a little bit, Jason, why don't you tell them about a place where birdies are available? Scottie Scheffler, I'm on a limb here. Scottie Scheffler would birdie that hole at Star Ranch. Do you agree?
Yeah, I have a feeling Scottie might card like a 59 at Star Ranch. He's pretty good. But look, you too could play like Scottie, maybe not necessarily. The golf club at Star Ranch, though, is my favorite golf course in all of Central Texas because it's fun. It's a really fun golf course. You can, as we've said, scoring available, birdie available, eagle available in certain instances. And if you are not the greatest golfer, it's all right because it's not going to be that much of a disaster when you hit a bad shot. And I tell you what, it's always in great shape. As we have referenced, it's very warm out there right now. Hydrate before you make it to Star Ranch. But while all the other golf courses around here are turning brown, I don't know how they do it. Magic Hutto water. The fairways remain green and lush at the golf club at Star Ranch. The greens are always rolling true. You can make putts on those greens. Great place for a tournament as well. If you're looking to throw a charity fundraiser or a golf tournament of any sorts, they can hook it up for you. You can scan the QR code there or call them 252-GOLF to get all the details on the golf club at Star Ranch.
All right, there we go. And FedEx Cup playoffs coming up. Ryder Cup in the United States going to Bethpage Black before the year is open. And Scottie will be a part of all of it. Dude, the Ryder Cup at Bethpage is going to be nuts. Those fans were remember when they played that, was a U.S. Open, I guess it would have been, and they were screaming at the golfers, man. That is another level of crazy fan, and they're going to go Ryder Cup there. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But, fellas, I wanted to look real quick. Before we get to the Mock 5 Top 5, let's go back to this graphic because I want you guys to focus on a different team this time. Look at the comparison between Texas and Georgia. Because everybody's going to talk about the rivals, right? A&M, Oklahoma's that we didn't mention, but Oklahoma's average is pretty nice, 135. The fact that number is their chance and A&M's at 97, that'd be another thing that jumps out. But let's go Texas, Georgia. They're both at the top. I get it. But if you're a Georgia fan, you're staring at that. For a 3-year average, you're at 147. Sounds good, right? Sounds damn good. Better than Notre Dame. Better than Michigan. Oklahoma, who? Bama, what? No, we're good. Tennessee, smoking them. Everybody, what's that above us? Oh, it's the Texas Longhorns at a $183 million average. So the reason I bring that up, fellas, this week, apparently, in the online world, in the world of On3, there was some On3 Oklahoma, On3 Georgia folks, and On3 Texas folks that just ended up getting into like a Twitter war or a message board war or whatever it was. And I'll admit it's not like I know every single thing that was posted, but it did get me thinking about what Georgia fans must be going through. The last week, think about it. SEC Media Days, their coach steps to the podium and says they're not a transactional program. They're about relationships. In the back of his mind, he knows he lost Tyler Atkinson. Then Tyler Atkinson commits to Texas. Then that afternoon, J.J. Johnson flips from Georgia to Texas. And on Sunday, one of the best running backs in the world, a guy Kirby Smart wanted more than almost anything, he chose Texas. And then a Georgia fan would have to look at that article, assuming they hit the New York Times, and go, oh, my God. So I get the discussion when Texas enters the conference chance about A&M Oklahoma came with them, but A&M's got to deal with Texas again. And what does that shadow really mean? But I don't know that everybody was prepared for the shadow that Texas was going to cast on something like Georgia or maybe Bama or Tennessee or LSU or those things. Like, I think all these programs are starting to realize after a year and going into the second year, it's like this Texas thing, it ain't going away, and you got a whole nother issue that you've just never had in this conference.
Well, I think Texas was in an interesting place. Like when I was at Texas and we were winning, and it was great, but we were also in the Big 12, and at that time the Big 12 was a great conference. It was never nationally a conference that everybody talked about, right? And A&M fans, you hear it all the time. We told y'all not to let them in. We told you, don't let them in. You give a school like Texas with the money that they have, the ability to go into a conference like the SEC, and you have that too, you're giving steroids to an already giant. Texas casts a massive shadow. And look, put that graphic back up there. Historically, who's one of the greatest universities ever? They're sitting right below Oklahoma. $71.3 million football revenue for USC.
That's crazy. Now, we've all know, hey, if you've ever seen a drone shot of the Coliseum for their home games, you know why it's at 71.3.
Where they put tarps over half the freaking stadium because they can't sell anything?
They cannot.
The beach,
they can't get that thing to capacity.
The beach is nice.
Well, and that goes to the point that Sark made, though, is that Austin is the largest city in the United States without a professional football team.
Mm-hmm.
The Texas Longhorns are a professional football organization for all intents and purposes. Yes, it's a school. I get it. But that is Austin's pro team. And the revenue shows. That's why no matter what people want to think about the new revenue sharing in the NIL, Texas is going to have a massive, massive advantage there because these companies are going to be able to pay these kids, and it's going to clear the NIL, the NCAA clearinghouse or whatever you want to call it. It's going to clear because they can justify it. You can't justify it in you can't justify it in LA because you got too many other stars.
Yeah, you're right. Look how I hadn't even noticed the USC thing, Chance. I'm glad you brought it up. 71.3. Look how far down that is. I mean, it's the lowest by far. By what? By 15 million? Am I seeing that right? The other lowest is Florida State, right? That is, Wisconsin's at 100 million for God's sakes, and USC is there. The school of Charles White and Marcus Allen and Leinart and Bush and pre-murder OJ and all those teams. Like, wow, that they're at that spot. That's just crazy. It's a great graphic. Go back sometime if you're watching the show and you want to just stare at this for a while. You can really go into a lot of interesting places where this is.
And the valuation is very, very interesting to me because if you look at USC, it's basically a 20x, right? But then you go over to A&M, and A&M is a 10x.
I know we've been focusing mostly on the football revenue here because that's an actually concrete number in this projected valuation, which I want to talk about how those all seem low to me. But this sort of fantasy number that they put together over here, something very notable here. Look at the difference between Texas, who it's not been a well-kept secret that the University of Texas keeps a money printing machine in every building on campus. But the difference between Texas and Georgia, that's 460 million. The difference between Georgia and number 7 Oklahoma is 430 million. So they're almost as close to number 7 as they are to number 1 when they're the second, highest valued program out there. It's just a testament to how much Texas is blowing the rest of these schools out of the water in terms of this, in monetary valuation terms, which honestly, maybe we should be ashamed of ourselves for not winning.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, and then if the argument, if those last couple wins come on the football field, gentlemen, look out. By the way, that 2.3 neighborhood, I also read in the New York Times article, they compared it to the last time. I think it's when the Panthers got sold in the NFL. It's about that number. They were sold for like 2.3 billion.
Okay, here's my deal, Chad, because I know those numbers are basically made up, but the Lakers were just sold on what was sort of fuzzy math, but amounted to a $10 billion valuation. I think the highest valued NBA franchise is like 9.4 billion, the Golden State Warriors. And that's a pro franchise. It's got 41 home games a year and a big television deal and all of that stuff. But you're telling me that Texas is a quarter of the value of an NBA franchise? I mean, isn't college football a bigger sport in America than the NBA? I played around with these numbers a lot. You go to the very end there. Wisconsin says 801 million. I looked up the valuation for Austin FC. It's 850 million. You're telling me the Austin soccer team is worth less than or is worth more than the Wisconsin Badgers football program? Go to Madison on a Saturday in October. I think you'll change your mind.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe number of games could have something to do with that. That's a good point, though. You bring up a really good point,
I
sir.
think what is interesting, and I don't know, like, again, these are made up numbers, so who cares? Like, if you go to the University Co-op and you buy one of these Angry Bevo shirts, the football program, that might not be a football shirt, like that might be a basketball shirt. That could just be an engineering student who wants a burnt orange shirt. Like, if you buy a Dallas Cowboys shirt, all that money goes to Jerry. Well, not specifically him, but so I don't know how all the numbers break out, but the idea, like, I don't know if Texas was for sale for 2.38 billion, again, I got 10 on it. Okay, I think there's a good ROI to be made on
that is true. All right, so let's keep moving, fellas, so we can get Chance back to the gambling tables because I know he's itching. You see him taking a little work on those fingernails. Yeah, he's getting ready. He's getting itchy. So let's get you a Mach 5, top 5. It is time to get because Chance has made some bets, ladies and gentlemen, and it is brought to you by the good folks at Integro Construction Services. Since Bo is not here to give you all the details, I'll throw the crawl down there for you. Be sure to ask about the Go Nano Roof Coating. Integro Construction Services, 512-987-1273. All right, Chance Mock. I'm going to go ahead and leave that Integro logo up there for you. So tonight we want your 5 favorite bets that you've made because apparently you have gone to the sports book there at Le Berge and made some bets. What do you got going?
Aha! So there's some interesting ones, and you're going to see a pattern in this, but I will tell you it's interesting. So number 5, this is a hedge against one that you will find out is number 1.
Okay.
Is the Baltimore Ravens at plus 700 to win the Super Bowl.
Wow,
now,
to win it all. Okay.
Me, for one, I am a Lamar Jackson believer. I think the guy is great. I think Josh Allen's better, but I do think Lamar's great. And if you look at the Baltimore Ravens roster, they have 7 players in the top 100. 7 position players in the top 100 players in the NFL. They've also, for comparison, the Bills have 3. Christian Benford, Deion Dawkins, Josh Allen. A corner, a tackle, and the quarterback. The Ravens have 7. Their lineup and their roster, they've done a phenomenal job building that roster. Their defense is sick. I think that's my hedge against my number 1 bet of which I placed. But my number 4 bet, which is a fun one, is our boy Archibald Manning. At plus 600 to win the Heisman Trophy.
Oh, it's a Jason Dick bet if I ever heard one.
I love it.
Okay, plus 600. Arch to win the Heisman. Again, to be clear, not just get to New York, he's got to win the thing.
That's right.
Okay, winning the Heisman. Arch Manning, number 4. What's number 3?
Number 3, Mr. Joshua Patrick Allen to win his second back-to-back MVP. He's at plus 600. He's behind Lamar. Lamar's at plus 550. Josh is the second favorite. He's tied with an LSU local. Well, he's not a local. He's an Ohio guy. An LSU alumnus, while I'm sitting here in Baton Rouge, who's at plus 600, Mr. Joe Burrow.
Okay. Gotcha.
Oddly, they have Patrick Mahomes at plus 700. I thought that was odd. Am I one of those guys, and we'll get back to the Mach 5 top 5, but I want to hear y'all's thoughts on this. I'm one of those that I do believe Patrick Mahomes is phenomenal. You have to give credit for wins. You have to give credit for rings. I get all that. But if you look at Mahomes' numbers and what he does, there's a lot of quarterbacks out there right now that they do more, they provide more to their team. I believe that. I think a lot of times when you see NFL rankings come out and it's like Patrick Mahomes won. Like it's almost like when Tom Brady was playing, which he was unbelievable, but it was just a given. All right, 1 is there. That's who 1 is. And the rest we're just basically ranking below.
Right, but you said he's plus 700 though, so he's a longer odds than those guys, right?
No, he is. I'm just saying I still think that's high. I mean, for me, I think him at plus 700. When you look at, Jaden Daniels at plus 900, Jaden Daniels is going to put up 1,500 more yards than Patrick Mahomes. He doesn't have the offensive coordinator and head coach that Mahomes has.
Right.
I mean, I think there's an argument to be said there.
Okay, so you're saying you'd take the Mahomes number and you'd move it down?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. He's still probably trading on his name in the sports books a little bit there. It's funny because I've been in a now 2-day text fight with my podcast co-host, Nick Hajda, as to whether basically I said that Scottie Scheffler was the most dominant athlete on earth right now. And after I talked him out of Joey Chestnut being an athlete, he says Patrick Mahomes is still more dominant. And I'm like, he might not even be the best player in his sport. And So yeah, we've been fighting about, and I keep showing him these odds and stuff like that. I could see a resurgent year from Patrick Mahomes with a sophomore year from Xavier Worthy. Okay, Rashee Rice is going to miss like 3 games. All right, nobody's dead. He's just driving a little reckless.
Nobody's dead. The official Georgia football motto as well.
If he played in Georgia, he'd be in the starting lineup week 1. All right,
they put that in the fight song now. Nobody's dead. We were just driving fast. Go Bulldogs.
Then you got to ask yourself, how much of a pain in the ass was Carson Beck that even Georgia was like, just go,
yeah. But no,
why chance? Because he used his cruise control. That's the thing. Get out, leave. He put it at 55 and went cruise control. They can't deal with that. Okay, so Josh Allen to win the MVP at number 3, Arch at 4 for the Heisman, and the Ravens winning the Super Bowl was at number 5. What's the top 2?
Number 2, Chad, you won't be as happy with this one. Jason, you absolutely will. I took our Texas Longhorns, the second favorite, at plus 550. Ohio State's at plus 500. I take the Texas Longhorns at plus 550 to win the 2025-2026 national championship.
Natty, going with the national title. Okay, Texas to win it all. All right, why do I feel – I was wondering if number 1 was going to involve your Longhorns or your Bills. So number 1 is Lombardi Bills?
I'm sorry to tell y'all this, but I'm sorry to tell y'all this, okay? As much fun as it would be for the Texas Longhorns to win a national championship, and I think they're going to win a few. The NFL is something different. The Buffalo Bills at plus 700 to win the Super Bowl.
Let me just understand this, Chance.
What is the number? Plus?
It's plus 7. They're tied at second with Baltimore at plus 700. That's why I said that's my hedge against the Bills at number 1 was Baltimore at plus 700.
Jason, before I give you a chance to maybe rearrange things a little bit, as we always do, Chance, let me give you the quick hypothetical. If the sports gods came to you in your sleep and put 2 buttons in front of you, one of them's burnt orange and one of them's red and has a table that's on fire. You push one and it's a natty for Texas and Arch. You push the other and it's Josh Allen lifts the Lombardi. No one's going to know what button you pushed. Which one would you push? Guaranteed champion.
Oh, it's not even a question. I'm jumping through the table and slamming that button. Let's go Buffalo Bills. Go Bills.
He's going Bills. All right. Fair enough. See, that's where he might say, Jason, he's going Bills because he trusts that Arch can get it done naturally.
This is
right.
If Mac had never turned to Vince Young, would that change things? All right. Is that what's happening here?
No, it had nothing to do with that. Texas, I just think you lived through the 90s, guys. You lived through it. Now we've lived through the 2000s and the issues with. We even had a wide right. We had a wide left. Now we had a wide right that cost us a trip to the Super Bowl. It's just been one thing.
I suppose that's fair.
Okay. All right, so Jason, you see it laid out in front of you. These are Chance's bets, so I guess it's kind of hard to rearrange here. But other than having bet on Arch more, is there anything you would do here?
Hold on, Jason. I do have to tell you, Jason, you're going to love this.
Okay.
Because our friend Bo is not here to defend it, but I hold here in my formerly nicotine-stained hands the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
See, this is the list of 32 NFL teams. Down here at the very bottom, the very last one at plus 20,000 is your Tennessee Titans.
God, that's a second column right there, Bo. Good grief. Yeah, all right, we're gonna show Bo that for just a second, though. That will not make him feel any better. Recovering from surgery. Wow. Okay.
Plus 20,000.
Before I get to the next question in my mind, one more shout out to Integro Construction Services, 987-1273. Be sure to ask about that Go Nano Roof Coating. They sponsor the Mach 5 Top 5 each and every week. All right, Chance, I'm afraid to ask, but where do the Dallas Cowboys come in for the Super Bowl props?
Well, they're going to have an inflated number because they're America's team. But if I just top of my head, I would say they have like the 13th best odds. That would be my guess.
All right, hold on. 1 tied for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tied for 10. They're 14 in this one.
Look at you. Well done, Jason. Good guess. Good guess.
At plus 5,000. But you know why they're at plus 5,000?
What's that?
Okay, let me ask y'all this.
50 to 1. 50 to 1.
Let me ask y'all this, because y'all are both Cowboys fans. So one thing as a Bills fan, Terry Pagula, most people probably don't even know who Terry Pagula is.
Right.
They don't know our owner.
Yeah.
He stays out of the way and lets football people do football things.
Well, that must be nice.
Can somebody explain to me why Jerry Jones would go out and take pot shots at his best, well, maybe not his best, but his most important offensive player and his best defensive player for no reason? Like, why? Like, it makes no sense to me. And then Micah Parsons comes out and goes, "Oh, they saw Max Crosby's potential. Must be nice to have a team that realizes your potential."
Yeah. Well, and the other one, Jason, I'll let you get into it as well. But to me, if your owner takes a shot at 2 of your best players and J.J. Watt calls him out for it on social media, and then one of those players retweets it, it might not be good news. It might not be. Yeah. So I've got a very cynical answer here. So I'll let you go first. As a Cowboys fan, your feelings on the whole Jerry thing?
Well, first of all, I'll say, Chance, you're correct. And I've already forgotten the name of your owner. Whatever you said, if you would have asked me beforehand, I would say, I don't know. Who is that?
Owner.
He's such a silly owner. Get this. He's an owner that doesn't do a big interview after every game and doesn't do 2 radio shows during the week. What a goofball.
To your question,
his
why
daughter's more famous than him, Jason?
What?
His daughter is a professional tennis player. Jess Pagula.
Whatever. Hold Jerry's Johnny Walker Blue.
Why does Jerry do it is because he treats this entire thing like it's a daytime soap opera, okay? Like he's just raising the tension, all right? He's just setting up the third act where he's going to be the hero. But as you've seen in previous cases, him being the hero turns into him giving Dak Prescott $60 million a year because he waits too long and the market keeps getting reset. And so, he gets himself into these god-awful situations. I saw an interesting thing. I forget who, so I cannot credit. Somebody said, you proposed this hypothetical. If you told Jerry Jones, you can win the next 3 Super Bowls, but you're not allowed to talk to the media, Jerry would say, no deal. Because he loves it so much. That's what his favorite thing.
Jason, I think he would take the deal, but he would invalidate it by doing the press conference like a day later.
Right. This is what we should do, Cowboys Nation. All right. Jerry Jones is 82 years old. And I don't know if he's the sharpest 82 or not. But 82-year-olds, you can fool them. All right. We got to set up a new press room at Cowboys Stadium for Jerry. And we fill it with employees of the franchise who he doesn't know, okay? We just assemble 35 fake media members, and we send Jerry in there, and they've got questions, and he talks to the media, but nobody ever sees it, okay? All right, we make a special highlight package that we pipe straight to Jerry's office so it looks like it's on SportsCenter, but he never talks to the media again because, it's out of control. Yeah, it's frankly crazy that we let an 82-year-old man go out there and be the mouthpiece for this.
Yeah, and Jason, I wish that was a bit or a joke, but in October he will indeed turn 83. Like he's almost to his next birthday. I've been screaming for somebody to take Grandpa's keys for years. Nobody can do it because they're his keys. Nobody can get them out of his hands. And I mean, it was bad, but Chance, the only way I get through it is I try not to let it go to my heart. Like, I care about the Cowboys. I do. But they haven't had my heart in a long time. I try not to really get that level of invested anymore because it's like I always say, I use the same analogy. Because right now, Texas Longhorn football is the most perfect version of their circus. but they're like the second biggest circus to me in sports. The first biggest circus is the Cowboys, but they're a different kind of circus. They're a kind of circus where you go, oh, wow, so that family is the most incredible acrobats in the world. Where do they live during the week? In that box. In that box, all 12 of them? Yep. Well, what about the gorillas? Well, we just let them roam the city. Wow. Okay. How many lions do you have? 8. Do they ever do anything weird? Oh, yeah, they eat like 3 kids a day in Plano. So that's the kind of circus that's been going on for a while. And you just have to know that that's what you're rooting for. You're rooting for that crazy level of stuff. And I thought it was so respectful and nice of Jason to say, I don't know if it's a hard-lived 82. Jason, that man has consumed more Johnny Walker Blue than I have consumed water in my life. You know it's a hard 82. It's not it's not some, professor that's 82 years old. Jerry lives hard at 82. I mean,
I think the hard thing, though, this is what I don't understand from y'all, is the Cowboys brand is so great and it's got so much history, and that star, and like there's been so much going all the way back to the Don Merediths and the Staubachs and the Dorsett, like the Cowboys. But you have an owner, like I can say with the Bills, we have an owner that loves the fans and he lets people do their football thing. And it feels like Jerry has this juggernaut of one of the greatest organizations ever in sports.
Yeah.
And he just constantly gives the middle finger to the fans.
Chance, I don't know that it's the middle finger. I think what he does is, unlike your owner may think of it, I think Jerry takes this finger, not the other one, this finger, and he points it at one fan. And his whole theory is, you might do the same thing if this was your football team. Like, that's the way Jerry thinks about it. It's my dream, not your dream, but you might do it this way too. I'm going to go do me some GMing. I'm going to go do me some presidenting. Because that's the other great thing to Chance's example. Forget, Chance, you're right about your owner. How many owners or GMs or presidents of NFL teams do press conferences, do the first press conference of a training camp? How many do people even know their names? And that's 3 different people on every franchise that most of us they have no clue. Jerry is all 3 of those things. That's the problem. He's all 3.
The general manager title, at the very least, is ceremonial in that most GMs in this league could probably tell you the 2 deep for all 32 teams because they live and breathe NFL personnel. I promise you, Jerry Jones has starters whose names he doesn't know. Okay,
you might be right.
Yeah.
Again, and just by definition, I would ask an NFL team. I would just walk by a door. Hey, your GM's 82, right? I'll see you at lunch, and then just walk out. Like, forget everything else. Your GM is 82 years old. We're in a time period where somebody in Washington, D.C. should probably be like, do you know how old your president is? Like, we're in that time too, right? Forgetting who the person is. Do you really want a president, a senator, a U.S. rep that's that old? Like, we've had senators that literally couldn't dress themselves. At some point, somewhere along the way, somebody should have said, yo, do we want to get Strom out of here or what? The man can't even tie a tie. What are we doing?
Well, I mean, look down the road in Houston. Nick Caserio, young guy. Brandon Beane in Buffalo, young guy. These young GMs, I mean, they know. Jason said it right. It's not that they don't. They know everybody on the practice squad. They know who's coming out. They know. And as soon as something happens, these guys are so active and they're just entrenched in it. It's amazing to watch. Jerry doesn't have that capability.
Yeah,
he just doesn't.
Think, Chance, I think it was last season. I looked it up, and I want to say the average age of the NFL GM when I looked it up, other than Jerry, was like 40. The average was 43, and there was like one person in their 50s, something like that. But he's by far, he's like 20 years older than the next older for sure. There might be somebody in their 60s, but there aren't like 5 guys in the NFL that are GMs at 80. It's not, that doesn't exist. And then back to the original point. the owner of an NFL team out loud saying, well, owner and GM, I don't know. You know what happens when you pay players sometimes? They get hurt. Well, yeah, sometimes. Like, and again, when J.J. Watt makes fun of you because he thinks you're taking a shot at your quarterback and your best defensive player, and then that best defensive player retweets it, you're the bad guy. And you have screwed up at that point. J.J. Watt's not looking to burn people on social media. That's not his thing. It's just such an easy target when Jerry does something like that.
Also, Jerry, we've seen you the way you play your hand every time. Okay, you slow played Dak and you paid him. You slow played CeeDee Lamb and you paid him. You slow played Ezekiel Elliott and you paid him. This goes all the way back to Michael Irvin. Okay, he's not going to let Micah Parsons play somewhere else. All right, he wants to act like he's playing hardball.
Like that's the thing.
Yes, of course.
And Jason, he's paid them all.
That's why Dak is the highest paid player in the league.
Why act stingy? You gave Ken Hamlin too much money. You gave Leonard Davis too much money. You gave all of them. I mean, the Joey Galloway, all these things we could talk about. Jerry's the master of too much money. And now he's getting weirdly stingy because, well, it could get hurt. I mean,
you can get hurt if you play football.
You see any games my quarterback missed last year? My quarterback missed games. Did you see that? Couldn't believe it. All that money I gave him. Welcome to football, Jerry. Welcome to football. All right, Chance. I don't know if you intended to get those feelings out of me and Jason, but I feel pretty good. Jason, you feel good? Feel like a little therapy session, maybe?
Yeah, that was nice. That was very
I had
nice.
a friend call me today, and we talk Cowboys pretty often. She called today to ask about other stuff, family stuff or whatever. And at the end, she said, okay, next time we talk, we got to talk Cowboys, but I didn't want to do it today because she didn't want to go through the pain of it at that. So we're going to save that for another day to talk about Jerry and that stuff. So this will be a good warm-up. This will be a good warm-up for my therapy call with her later on. All right. Before we get out of here, let's give some love to another one of our great partners, and it is the good folks over at Last Stand Hats. I will share a screen, and we'll start with couple of hats that I love. One of them I can't buy. This one here, the Not an Aggie, I can't buy that because I'm an Aggie. If you want the Not an Aggie with the spelling y'all love so much, bust that out. If you want a Womp, this is the one I don't understand. Jason, seriously, would you go get a Womp hat?
I don't really. Yeah, I don't get it. I feel like, and this is a deep reference, but isn't that like the catchphrase for the Insane Clown Posse? I feel like they go womp womp all the time.
I don't know. I'm so confused on that one. So if you want the womp or the gooder or the best or the better, they got them all. They got them all for you. They've also got this cool black card, lifetime member. They've got some left. Once they sell 399 of these, it's done. You're going to get a really cool, the look at that card. See, they're going to have that hard, like cool, badass black card feel. Only $199, but look what it gets you. 30% off everything, free Last Stand locker room hat, all those other benefits. And if you love yourself some Last Stand hats, this is a great way to make sure you are locked in for a long time, especially if you love UTEP. Let's take the gamble, Chance. Let's roll the dice. UTEP, one day you will have gear. It's not today. It's all right. No. Not today. It's okay.
I have said since they offered this great deal, I would be a lifetime member. I will buy one of those 399 lifetime memberships when they give me the UTEP hat. That's all I'm asking for.
Yep. Got to get a UTEP hat. That's what you got to do. Also, if you want the Outsiders hat,
my brothers in El Paso.
That's it. Or anything else, Outsiders, legitimately worth the shit hat. If you need one, there's 12 different color combos. Use the code Outsiders10 for those hats or anything else you want. Yeah, chances this builds up. I just feel more and more like I need one of those hats. I feel like I need like a pick. Like they have a cool thing with the pick logo. Like, come on now.
Like we've gone past the point of being able to let go of this bone. Like at this point, we're going to have to fight for it. Like,
yeah, we are. Last Stand.
Calls are going to have to be made.
You've heard us now. Calls will have to be made. That is fair. All right. I think we're going to let Chance get back to the old tables. Chance, where are you headed right now? Once we are done and we close up, what are you going to? You going to a craps table? You going to blackjack? What are you doing?
I'm gonna go do some pitch. I'm gonna go blackjack, 2-deck, enjoy that.
All right.
It's fast. It's fast. It's. I mean, you're either going to win or you're going to lose pretty quickly.
What?
And have you been doing either one of those quickly while you've been there?
I've been a yo-yo. I've been up as much as 900 at one point, and I've given most of it back.
Okay, fair enough. Well, hey, they got to build that. You know, but they got to keep the lights on, so you're helping them do that.
They don't. These things don't build themselves.
That's true. I've been to L'Auberge. It is lovely. My wife's going to be jealous that you're at L'Auberge. So we got to get back there sometime. Lake Charles is a beautiful place. They do a lot of
Lake Charles.
Good stuff. I'm not sorry. You're not the Lake Charles. You're at the L'Auberge. You're at the Baton Rouge L'Auberge. That's right.
I'm in the Baton Rouge.
Yeah. Sorry. We've done the L'Auberge in Lake Charles. You're in Baton Rouge. I've not been to the one in Baton Rouge. How does it compare to Lake Charles?
All I can tell you is on Friday night, I'm thinking about extending my stay one extra night because one Mr. Rodney Carrington is putting on a show here.
Okay. Fair enough.
Sober Rodney Carrington show. I've seen the drunk one. I haven't seen the sober one.
Oh, this could be maybe better. Maybe you'll wish for the drunk one. Who knows?
Or maybe I'll just take his place and I'll just be the drunk one and everything will be funny.
Right. There you go. That'll work. That can work too. All right, boys, we will wrap it up after we tell you that once again, we are brought to you by PonchoOutdoors.com. Shout out to Colt in a poncho shirt. We also got some new hoodies available over at Poncho if you want to check them out there. And as I mentioned earlier, if you look for that picture on the front page of Poncho, go PonchoOutdoors.com. Right there on the front page, you'll see Willie's picture from Duck Dynasty, and he is wearing these shirts all over the place. Click on that picture. It'll take you right to the best sellers right now at Poncho. So maybe a cool way to look through stuff. Or you already know what you want, and you want to go after it. You're more of a normal button person, check those out. You want more of the Western style like we love with the mother of pearl snaps, go do that. Or maybe go get a new hoodie. Whatever it is you like, they've got it. Thank y'all for liking, subscribing, and getting your notifications. Again, we're premiering The Outsiders Thursdays at 10 a.m., whether you're listening on Thursday morning or whenever you check us out. Thank you for doing it. Again, big shout out to Bo Edge. He's getting better. He's recovering from surgery. And next week, we hope he will be on the show and he'll let you know a little bit of what he's been going through. We're certainly thinking of Bo each and every day here that he's been off of The Outsiders. He is the spark, the engine of The Outsiders, and we miss him terribly. So, Country Gorilla, we hope you are back very, very soon. Get well. And to Mrs. Country Gorilla, you are the nurse of all nurses. You are the reason for the season, and you are the one that is going to get him back to health. And enjoy the not talking part. Just try to soak it up. Just a little bit. Try to soak that part up. All right, y'all take care. Best of luck to Chance Mock at the tables as he heads back
buddy.
to the tables at L'Auberge in Baton Rouge. Y'all take care. Until next week, we are The Outsiders, and we are legitimately worth a shit. See ya.